Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, September 18th, 2019. Over the next couple of days, we'll see another strong cold front move into the geographic area. And out ahead of that cold front, we'll see gusty winds and low relative humidities, especially across southern Nevada and southwest Utah today, with gusty winds across central Nevada and over much of Utah, where RHs aren't quite as low. And those gusty winds will continue mainly over southern and eastern Utah on Thursday. Over the past 24 hours, we just saw a little bit of precip move into far western Idaho. Initial attack activity has picked up just a bit yesterday over portions of northern Utah. Precipitation for the past couple of weeks has been above normal over Idaho, western Wyoming, and portions of northern Utah and northern Nevada. But the main story here is across southern Nevada and southern Utah, where those areas have been very dry the last couple of weeks and much below normal for the time of year. This is kind of reflected in our ERCs across southern Utah and southern Nevada, where those values are between the 70th and 79th percentiles, and we even have a couple of stations that are above the 80th percentile. These areas will remain warm, dry, and windy for the next couple of days. If we look a little bit closer at where we saw some of those fires in northern Utah where the fire danger is, we're sitting close to normal for the time of year, but have seen some gusty winds the last couple of days that have encouraged some of those fires to spread. And then across southern Utah as well, those values are above normal for the time of year, not quite as high as where we were at this time last year, but still above normal with that drying trend. Sagebrush live fuel moistures are shown here for a couple of sites, one in Nevada and one in southwest Utah. These values, for the first time this year, have come in below normal for the time of year, and we've really just seen that extended drying for the last couple of weeks in some of these areas. This morning's satellite imagery is showing that pretty strong upper level trough there, currently located in the Pacific Northwest. This trough will continue to move east and southward over the next couple of days, bringing those strong gusty winds into the Great Basin for today and tomorrow, and then bringing the showers and cooler temperatures into the region as well. So for this afternoon, we can see the trough continuing to march eastward, and that cold front really dipping into northern Nevada and Idaho with the strong gusty winds out ahead of that. We do have high-risk triggers issued for portions of eastern and southern Nevada and western and southwest Utah for those low relative humidities and gusty winds. If we look a little bit closer, we are expecting to see gusts above 40 miles an hour over eastern Nevada and much of southwest and southern Utah. And those relative humidities are below 15% in much of those areas for today. We'll also see some gusty winds in western Nevada, but the relative humidities are going to be higher behind that cold front. The center of the low pressure moves into western Idaho and northern Nevada on Thursday, bringing widespread showers and cooler temperatures to much of the geographic area. Out ahead of that trough, however, we're still going to expect to see gusty winds and low relative humidities over south central and southeast Utah on Thursday. We can see where those winds are going to be strongest. Could be very windy, 40 to 45 miles an hour expected, and possibly even higher in some areas over southern and eastern Utah. And it's across southern and southeast Utah that we'll still see those low relative humidities where we have those high-risk triggers issued. Elsewhere across the geographic area, relative humidities are going to be up, and widespread showers are expected in many of these areas. On Friday, that trough moves off to the east, and after a couple of days of cool and wet conditions, our fire danger should be quite low across the northern two-thirds of the geographic area. Cooler temperatures will move into the south, but some of those areas will remain fairly dry through this weather event. And on Friday, some stronger northerly winds back behind that trough, but nothing of much concern as the relative humidities are quite high. Lighter winds across the south where we're seeing our lowest relative humidities. The 3-day precipitation accumulations are shown here, with the mountains of central Idaho seeing maybe up to an inch of precipitation. There in western Wyoming as well. And across northern Nevada and northern Utah, precip amounts are a little bit lighter, maybe between a quarter, possibly up to a half an inch in some areas. But southern Nevada and southern Utah are going to stay dry through this event. On Saturday, we'll see a a short-lived dry pattern with a weak ridge building back into the Great Basin for warming and drying conditions. And we'll see some of that warmth continue in Utah on Sunday, but there is another trough moving into the Pacific Northwest that will bring a return of showers to Idaho and northern Nevada on Sunday. And then on Monday, that trough moves into Utah, possibly bringing some showers into central and southern Utah by Tuesday, and maybe for the first time bringing some more widespread showers to southern Nevada and southern Utah, where those areas have been quite dry. Confidence in this forecast is not particularly high right now, so we'll watch this guy over the next couple of days. The precipitation totals for the next 7 days are showing first that main bulk of precipitation moving in over the next couple of days, and then early next week we may see a trough drop into the central and southern portions of the Great Basin, possibly bringing a better chance of precipitation to southern Utah. The extended forecast for September 25th through October 1st is calling for below normal temperatures across the northern 2/3 of the geographic area, with above normal chances for precipitation. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.